CaveFam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Segovia coming to you live from the man cave. Hope everyone out there is having a good day, y'all. We're back like we never left. We're back with another reaction, y'all. We got a good one today. Before we get into this reaction, just remember, don't believe none of these things you see on these videos. These are for entertainment purposes only. Make sure you go out there and do your own research and find out what's real and what's not real. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna sit here and talk your guys' ears off though. I'm gonna save that for the end of the video. I got some kind of big news coming up in the near future next month. If you're interested, stick around for the end to hear what's going on in my life, y'all. But anyways, enough with the chit chat. Let's get into the reaction. Enjoy the show.
Did y'all hear that California just experienced an earthquake, y'all? Look at this shit. I think this is the Santa Monica Pier.
All right, y'all. We got a few California clips coming up right now. I think it's happening, y'all. I think it's happening in California, right? We remember all this, the big home insurance companies pulling out of California. You can't get home insurance no more. I think the reason why they were doing all that is starting to happen right now, y'all.
This thing is shaking like a bad habit.
Hello, everyone. We're following breaking news on an earthquake right now. The U.S. Geological Survey is reporting a 4.7 magnitude earthquake near Malibu just a few minutes ago.
Now, shaking has already been reported in Thousand Oaks, Lake Elsinore, Inglewood, Gardena, and our studios here in Universal City. Now, this is a look at the map where the earthquake is centered, and a 2.7 magnitude aftershock was felt a short time later.
So originally, it was classified as a 5.1 earthquake, but they downgraded it to a 4.7. This guy said it literally shook him out of his bed, and along with other people within the comments as well.
We just had a 5.1, which they just downgraded to a 4.7 in Malibu.
Yeah, and Simeon Diaz, I got the alert on my phone.
It shook me right out of bed, and I'm in Los Angeles near downtown. So yeah, it was initially a 5.1 that hit at 7:28 a.m. and it's just been downgraded to a 4.6.
I remember when I showed y'all this article less than a month ago, August 28th. Research indicates that the next big earthquake could be imminent.
Yeah, we're having an earthquake right now. Whoa! We are. Whoa. Okay, so we're staying on. We're here. That is an earthquake. Yeah. That we just experienced. That's still going. And naturally, it's a little bit jarring when that happens. Growing up in Southern California my whole life, there's such an unpredictability with an earthquake that it just rattles you.
Oh, it sure does, as well as rattling all of the lights that are above us. Yep.
So that was a pretty big jolt. Yeah. We're going to be getting some information, I'm sure, in just a bit about the magnitude of that quake. But scary.
That was God breaking up that argument.
Yeah, that's what I guess what that was. Yeah, I mean, and you see the lights in the studio, y'all can't see up here, it's still rattling just a little bit.
Yeah.
That was very much a lingering roll.
That was
and that jolt, too.
Yeah. Because it started off a little small and then it went boom. Oh, just like that. Yeah. Okay. So that was jarring.
Yeah, that was jarring. We're gonna regroup and just get some information, and I'm sure it's probably gonna be coming in just moments.
What the magnitude and the
epicenter of where it was.
Would love to know that.
And any damage that was in that that.
Check this out, you guys. The ground is moving in Rancho Palos Verdes in California, y'all. They're saying that the ground is moving at a foot per week, y'all. A foot per week. Y'all do know California was once an island, right? This is why they keep talking about this fault line in California, and it looks like it's about to be an island again, y'all. Check this out.
An up-close look at the destruction in Rancho Palos Verdes caused by unprecedented land movement. Recent reports suggest the ground is moving about a foot per week. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf is live tonight after navigating through some of the most treacherous areas of that neighborhood. Matthew?
Christine, really unbelievable to see just how much this land has moved. Now, this road used to be up where our camera is now. I estimate probably 12 feet higher than where we are currently, and it's only getting worse out here. Fox 11 walking exclusively with experts, viewing record-breaking land movement in Rancho Palos Verdes.
As you can see, their elevation was about 6 feet higher.
This neighborhood off Portuguese Bend, ground zero.
The gas line breaks about 3 times a week.
Gas a frequent smell. Homes and roads here cracking and sinking more every day.
You have to think to yourself, this isn't real. And that's how I feel here. I feel like I'm on a movie set, but in reality, this is 25 people's homes.
Drone video from the Alpha Structural team shows a giant separation of land cutting through the neighborhood.
This whole part, it just pulled away from over here. It opened up a chasm.
They have abandoned the underground water mains.
Water main pipes now above ground to prolong breaks.
There's the garden hose that goes up to their house to give them water.
A garden hose used to get water into a home. It would be challenging to walk upright.
Absolutely.
One homeowner climbing a rope to reach their house, but Friday, the driveway now possibly too steep even for that.
And in the last week, I think it's gotten so bad, they're actually packing up, it looks like, and moving along with the house across the street.
This area continues to drop roughly 12 feet in the last year or so. Just look at this home. It used to be street level, and now it's way down here.
As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. California was once an island and is about to be an island once again. They just built up around California to make it seem like it's connected with the other states. But y'all see what's happening to the planet right now, y'all. But let me know what you guys think about this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I'm only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Like, comment, and follow me on all these platforms, y'all. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace out.
There's a video circulating right now where a man claims that God gave him a vision of a tsunami hitting California. Check out a small bit of it.
4 months ago, God told me that a tsunami coming to California and destroying the coast of California. Y'all ever heard of the San Andreas fault? Yeah. It's finna get ready to happen, brother. I came from Atlanta, Georgia, bro. I don't know nobody in California. I got a wife, I got kids. He said, get up and go save my children in California. And that's what I'm doing, bro.
For those of you who may not know, the San Andreas Fault is a fault line that spans all the way through California where two plates of Earth's crust meet. It's commonly believed that if these plates were to slip, it would cause massive earthquakes, tsunamis, and billions of dollars worth of damage. Now, obviously, no one knows for sure whether or not the vision or information he received was from God. But I will say that there's been quite a few articles released recently talking about the rapid movement of the Earth in California. And although it is normal for the Earth to shift in California, this may be a little more than normal and has led some people to believe that this may be the San Andreas Fault becoming active. I want you to check out a news article and then let me know what you think about all this in the comments.
On Netflix, right? The Terror is based off this expedition called the Franklin Expedition, and it took 150 years to figure out what exactly happened to him. They set out in 1845 to find a northwest passage over Canada, and then they disappeared. But there's two ships. The crew consisted of 134 men, and the ice was starting to get really thick, and so they got stuck in this one channel for a winter. It's like, no big deal. We're prepared for this, so we'll just wait it out. Summer came, ice did not melt, and so they were stuck for 2 years.
One spot for 2 years?
They said that the ice just like forms up the boat. Like it's just more and more ice. They later found out the cans of food that they were eating from were riddled with lead.
Yeah.
So they are all getting lead poisoning.
Like you get sick, but you also get kooky.
So it wasn't until 150 years later, they saw a mass grave of 30 men, and they had all been cannibalized.
Oh, knew it.
They tested their hair, lead poisoning, and they even found the ship in 2014.
No way!
And they said both ships were like perfectly preserved because they're like under the ice and stuff.
And I'm sorry what I'm about to say, but as far as this music stuff, I won't be doing this music stuff anymore. I started this because this was my dream, and you know, I wanted to make sure I could get me and my kids out the hood. It's always been my passion to rap. A while ago, I had signed a contract, and I didn't know nothing about the business or this game out here. And just right now, I'm realizing that I signed my soul. I sold my soul to the devil. So to the devil. I don't even own myself no more. I sold my soul to the motherfucking devil, and I done prayed. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I don't even believe in myself no more because of what I did. I did not know the game was like this.
Here is Building 7, and it's, as they said on the BBC, it's a few hundred yards away from the World Trade Center 1 and World Trade Center 2. So the idea that somehow an explosion happening over here a few hundred yards away would somehow make that building fall into its own footprint is suspect, to say the least.
There's a lot of people that ask, what was in that building? Well, this slide shows us by floor.
So Solomon Smith Barney was on 28 to 25. Then there was Standard Chartered Bank. Then there was the IRS, Department of Defense and Central Intelligence Agency on floor 25. And on 23 was the Office of Emergency Management. On 22 was the Federal Home Loan Bank of New York. On floor 19 was Securities Valuation Office. And 11 through 13 was the Security and Exchange Commission and the Provident Financial Management. And then just below that was the U.S. Secret Service, and then the American Express Bank.
Money. That's unfortunately what makes the world go round, right? Go to work to have money. We wake up to get money because we got to pay this, we got to pay that. This giant. The size of the tree.
Tamanho da árvore. Gente, não tem cabimento. Olha pra você ver o tamanho do cara.
Tá não. Uma coisa que deve.
Aí, surfistas, ó. Silvinho fragou o cara mais alto do mundo.
Ele não viu o pôr do sol, mas ele viu o gigante.
Olha só, vem aqui.
Pois é. Se contar, ninguém acredita.
Silvinho, o cara, o tamanho da árvore, galera. Olha aqui pra vocês verem. De longe, ó. Olha pra você ver.
Não tá falando, tá pensando que pega lá, Juninho, tá descendo, Juninho. Olha lá, Juninho. Pega lá, Juninho.
That's crazy. Wearing flip-flops.
Olha lá, Juninho. Pega lá. Dá um chuleiro, Juninho.
Isso é normal, não.
Tá louco, o tamanho do cara.
Tá andando muito rápido.
3 km de distância.
Eu também achei, velho. Tô ficando maluco.
They said they were going to replicate the Eiffel Tower, which they couldn't. But there's the Eiffel Tower, and it's funny because there's actually 25 Eiffel Towers across the realm. But here's some more towers. Here's some more buildings. These were all buildings which used to be on the realm, but were either destroyed or allegedly not created. This is the great one, this egg one. I mean, this is just a work of art when you think about it. As these genocides took place, and as people got illnesses, and they came down with epidemics of smallpox, and then they had stock market crashes, and then they had fires, and then they had floods, and they had hurricanes, they would reset a town and reset a country, and then they'd bring new people in, and then they'd brainwash those people. And then they would keep doing this on repeat until they have all the people believing the narrative. And this has happened many times in history. When you look at the whole stock market crashes and the whole things that took place, these are orchestrated by people who hold the money. And when we think about the 1800s, there's a lot of people, or I should say, not a lot of people. There's a very few people holding the money, and there's a very few people holding all of the infrastructure. They got all the banks, and they got all the transportation, they got all the oil, they got the educational system, they got the medical, and all these systems. And the biggest one that I learned is that the Rockefeller had one.
Wow.
It says two Boeing 747 pilots flying from Saudi Arabia to Nigeria captured footage of objects making impossible maneuvers at 5 a.m.
Wow.
It's kind of hard to see, but
that's UFO. Sometimes come, sometimes off, sometimes off again. Right.
How many of y'all have seen this ABC commercial about a certain episode dealing with artificial intelligence being presented to you by Oprah Winfrey? How many of y'all have seen this post come across your phone? The questions I have to ask you is, this is called predictive programming. They're trying to make sure the population will agree with the soon release of artificial intelligence, robotics, your replacement, the usherance into a UBI. Now, for 4 years, I have warned people that this is coming. I've been called fearmonger. I've been called conspiracy theory. Get a job. Get a life. And they don't even understand that I'm fighting for them. People, when you see Hollyweird start to bring up subjects of artificial intelligence, I guarantee it. This is a segue into Neuralink. How it will make your lives better. How it will change all your aspects of life. And think about how many of the bots are going to eat that shit up. Think about how many people are going to believe the hype and really believe this is a good thing, that this would advance our ways of life, that this isn't the Trojan horse. You know, we've been warned about AI. Some could speculate that we are AI, but that's a different type of video. But I just want you guys to understand, and when you see things like this, who gives a fuck about what they're talking about? What are the intentions? What is the intentions of broadcasting this? Can you see it? Or will you just be entertained? What does the word entertain mean in Latin? A dead language, that is. To bind, to control, to hold the mind. Are you not entertained? When are y'all gonna wake up? But hey, I already know, I'm fear-mongering. Get a fucking life. Peace to God.
We headed to the BMV to see how the Haitians are getting driver's licenses in cars so quickly after moving here despite speaking zero English.
Question for y'all. What are your thoughts on the Haitians? They can't drive? This guy right here, by a Haitian dude. Yo, bonjour.
You got a cat right beside him. Stop! Do that! Stop, bro. Stop, dude.
You said that shit, not me. You take that back. I didn't shit.
I'll tell you that, man. Bro, come on, bro. We be playing, bro. There's nothing wrong with some jokes.
Let's go see what's up. How y'all doing? Question for you. Do you know how the Haitians are getting driver's license? Can they transfer their license from Haiti, or?
No, they could not transfer.
Do they have to undergo the same test?
I'm not allowed to answer personal questions outside of that office.
Well, okay. You know what they have to do?
I do not.
Okay.
I really don't know. No, but I know they're getting them quick.
They're getting them quick, right? We asked.
You are not allowed to take pictures in here, sir.
In the, go outside? Sorry. Are they able to transfer their licenses from Haiti to here?
No, not without taking the test. But that's the only question
Have you heard of that? That's the only question I can answer. They're going to vote, right? You know they're going to vote for it. Who let them in, right? I would vote for him too if they let me in this damn country. I'm voting for him. Heck yeah, I want him still here. I can bring the rest of my family over here, right? It's too bad, y'all.
These hums that are being heard around the world?
No.
Like low tones?
Oh my god.
So the hum is a low-pitched sound heard in numerous places around the world, especially in the USA and UK and Northern Europe. Everyone has been looking for answers, and to this day, no one knows the cause of the sound.
It just gave me a shock of reading a thing about people. So people who are deaf their whole life and then they finally hear for the first time, and a couple of them said it shocked them to find out the sun didn't make a sound. So when you're deaf your whole life and like you just never heard any sounds, anything that normally has that movement would make a sound. They always say they can't believe the sun doesn't make a noise.
One day, I get an email. I had a Proton Mail account. Are you familiar with Proton Mail?
Oh, that's like an anonymous one for like drug dealers and shit, right?
Okay, so it's an encrypted email.
Okay.
I get an email from a guy. This is 2012. He wanted to meet me at a place called Lux Bar. He said he had a job for me. Said the job was paying $52,000 for 5 days. Up front, you get the entire payment.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, okay.
Also, why would they pay you up front?
Listen to this. I meet up with the guy. He shows me a ID from the Pentagon. He tells me that he does not trust certain people that he works with, and that he needs me to keep him safe until he can testify in front of Congress.
Oh, wow.
Right? Mm-hmm. He shows me some pictures. He say, what does this look like to you? So I say, okay, so what am I looking at? He says, these pictures are on the surface of the moon. He say, my job is to scrub these pictures, to make them available to get released to the public. So I'm like, okay. Then he asked me to sign an NDA. He pull out a little folder, unfold the paper, and say, "Want me to sign an NDA?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." I always try to avoid that because to me it's like you're agreeing to something, right? Then the guy goes on to explain to me about some race of people who live at the bottom of the ocean. They have facilities there, and when I refused this job,
sounds like a Little Mermaid, but
until you hear these parts,
okay.
I refused the gig. He tells me someone's occupying our moon. I'm scheduled to testify as a whistleblower in front of Congress about this. Can you keep me safe until then? I had to turn the job down because as soon as I go outside, my car ransacked. My car for about 3 weeks. My car get towed. I go and pick it up, they give it to me for free. Then, a lot of strange things was happening. You see what I'm saying? And, this guy testified in front of Congress.
And is he still alive?
Yep.
Sounds like if they were willing to do all that to you, that they would be willing to kill him too. Or something to him.
I need you guys to see this technology that we have that's available to the public. You can literally draw on your phone and it'll project an image on a building, on the sky, almost anywhere, and half the time these lasers making the image are completely invisible. They had to put smoke in front of it to see it in most places. And if they're doing all of this, what do they have that we don't know about? Any technology that they give us, it means that they are so far and so superior, so far ahead of us that we could not even comprehend it. I just made a long video on Facebook about really Project BB going back to the 90s and going over all of it. My point is, are we going to be able to differentiate in the future what's technology and what's not? What's spiritual and what's physical? Because the veil is blurring so quickly. With artificial intelligence, they can make literal movies that appear real. Even half the people in the comments don't know what's AI and what's not anymore. And truthfully, all the real videos that we're seeing are being called AI and all the fake ones are being called real. I just saw a video last night where the ex-CEO of Google was talking about in the near future, we aren't going to know anything about what's real and what's fake because artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence. And he said it's going to be released like within a year. So within a year from now, we won't be able to differentiate anything. Scary future ahead.
That's pretty dope though. I would like that in my backyard or for some Christmas lights, right? Freaking simple. You don't got to get on a ladder and risk breaking a neck or something. I would pay up for it. Not too much, but I'd pay up for it.
Scientifically cannot fly with its body weight and the size of its wings. Cannot. It shouldn't be able to. Right?
True.
But there's actually real things that are going on. They don't really just use their wings to flap air to fly. What they're doing is they're using vibration to make themselves fly. They're using frequency to make themselves fly. You know when they put sand on a table and they play a certain hertz, a certain frequency of sound, what happens to sand? It creates like hexagons. It creates like certain patterns. What is a honeycomb?
Oh, it's the same thing?
It's the same thing. It's hexagons. How do they make that shape? It's because of the vibration they're moving at. Now, why is honey literally probably the only food naturally that doesn't go bad? Like fungus can't grow on it. It's so pure. It has all of these nutrients. It's very good for humans. Very good for everyone. But it doesn't go bad and it stays so pure. What makes it that way? It's been blessed by the frequency of the bees. And it's put into that, people call it like sacred geometry. That's what they call it.
Oh, it's sacred geometry.
The hexagon, because the honeycomb is literally a hexagon. When what they do, they throw up the pollen into the thing, and then they use their vibration to create it.
Damn, I didn't know that.
That's deep, huh? Isn't it deep how if bees all die, we die? If a certain organism in the ocean dies, that you need a microscope to see it, everything in the ocean dies, and then we all die. Like everything's connected, interweb, and just deep. Life is deep.
I'm sure many of you tuned into the VMAs last night.
Who watches the VMAs? It's 2024. If you're watching the VMAs, I know who you're voting for, right? Who watches the VMAs? That was the early 2000s, 90s. I used to watch the VMAs. Ain't nobody watching award shows no more.
It was an amazing show, and there's a moment during the award show that has gone viral. And no, it's not regarding a music artist or celebrity. Believe it or not, it's regarding a woman in the crowd. After the amazing performance of LL Cool J, the camera pans to the crowd and they capture this woman. Right away, it threw off a flurry of opinions and comments. Some people saying it's a demon, some saying a reptilian conspiracy theory, others just crazy comments. To the woman out there, we would love to speak to you. Take a look at this footage, you guys, and tell me what you think.
Goats. Who watches this? This nerd in the front. He's clapping and smiling for LL Cool J. Nerds.
Was this an angel?
People are scouring nearly 70 photographs looking for some sign of a man they swear they saw at the scene of a car accident. He prayed, a life was saved. So why did he disappear, even from the photos?
Missouri Miracle. Much of it, though, still a mystery. A teenager with a beautiful smile, 19-year-old Katie Lentz, trapped in her mangled car. Inside that car, Katie had one request: to pray with the rescuers out loud. And then suddenly, right there, amidst the rows of corn, at the scene blocked off for nearly a mile, a man appears.
He was dressed in a black priest shirt with a white collar.
And the rescuers notice something else. He was carrying a small bottle.
He had a small little white container of anointment oil, is what it appeared to be.
And he asked if he could anoint the girl in the car.
To do it.
A sense of calmness come over her then.
Follow or subscribe for more.
I believe it. I think things like that happen that are unexplainable. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Translators, they're all. Trump he was doing it right. The meeting that he had with Taliban leadership.
Favorite President Trump story. When we were negotiating with the Taliban, it's President Trump and Mike Pompeo, and they are talking to Taliban leadership. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: I want to leave Afghanistan. And he said, if you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the Taliban's home and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Wow. Got up and walked out the room. Sure do you know for 18 months not a single American was killed in Afghanistan? That's how President Trump rolled.
I think it's beautiful. I mean, animals are the creatures of God, right? And they obey.
Not the snake. They actually messed it up for us.
So actually that too, his name is Nakashim and he's serpentine, right? Seraphim, he's a seraphim. So that means like he's not actually a snake. If you read it in the Hebrew, Aramaic, Coney Greek, he's actually a serpentine, he's a cherubim, which is a angel, right? A fallen angel.
So he wasn't like a snake on his belly.
Yeah, he wasn't. He crawled on his belly, absolutely. The way they explain it, sure. But if you read it in the original lexicon, he's actually a Nakashim, Seraphim, Cherubim. Yeah, they explain it in this way. Do you understand? Like,
do you think animals? Dude, this is gonna sound like kind of crazy. Do you think animals and humans were made to speak to each other in the garden? Because you know how the animals spoke to Eve, but then we watch Disney channels where like the animals are speaking to the people, and we look at that like that's lit, and like there's Dr. Doodle, like we look at the stuff and we're like that's amazing.
Toy Story.
Did we have the ability to speak to animals like that before, or like
that? I don't know, but I feel like how with Noah, if you look at Noah's situation, how he was able to gather them, right, and then have. I mean, you could say it's through the Holy Spirit, but yeah, I wasn't. I like I said, when I look at it, I think about only the gospel, and how I see it is if I preached to them, it would, let's say like we didn't know, right? Let's say I was wrong. Our animals could go to heaven, let's say, right? And I didn't know, I knew for sure that they could go to heaven, but I didn't preach to them. Then, you know, it would kind of be like, what would be the gamble if I did just preach to them versus not preaching to them? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel like I grew up in such an Orthodox Catholic way, and then I kind of re-engineered my mind to think more gospel and not tradition based.
Sure.
But I guess what it is like there's a certain type of order and respect. Like, for example, my dog, I'm not going to put him close to my mother when she's wearing a nice dress.
Of course.
So I wouldn't want to share, because in John 1, it says that the word became flesh. So the word of God is holy.
Sure.
I don't know if I feel comfortable giving it to a beast that doesn't even have the coherency to realize the awe of the deity I'm speaking of.
Sure.
So I would love to talk about, question, do you believe in dragons?
So well, the Bible does talk about the dragon.
My man.
Yeah, it does talk about the dragon.
Bro, I would love to. Okay, dude, whoa, this episode just got real hot.
All right, so I'm taking video because this is fucking tripping me out. That's supposedly the sun, but I can look at that thing with with no coverage on my eyes, straight eyed. That is supposedly the sun, and I can beam at that with my own eyes. There's no shine, there's nothing. But supposedly that's our sun. Our sun normally rises from way, way, way over above this fucking building. So what the hell is that? And how come I can see it with my own eyes and it's hard to see, but there's lines going through it? It doesn't even look like the sun.
Russia took pyramids and they hollowed them out. They built hollow pyramids in a laboratory setting outside, and they began to plant crops underneath the pyramids and took the same exact type of crops, planted them on the outside of the pyramid. And in these experiments, the crops they planted inside the pyramid structure in the sacred geometry grew almost twice as fast and were almost twice as abundant as the ones that were planted on the outside in the same exact soil. So they found out that there's something to do with the angles, right? Accessing these angles or these angels, to accessing this higher dimensional energy that feeds the third dimension that can be harnessed and utilized by third dimensional life forms. And so, this is incredible because then that same experiment was replicated many times. And we now know that a pyramid structure harnesses natural energy, not just harnesses it, but can actually transmute it into living things.
Takes us back to the bees, right? The angles, the hexagon. Honey never goes bad. Plants grow quicker in a pyramid. Now I know if I ever get a greenhouse, build it like a pyramid.
Yeah, we going to war. Yeah, we going to war. But it won't be the type of war y'all think. It's going to be things that y'all are seeing now. What we just seen today on the news. All of a sudden, AT&T phone's not working. The computer's not working. So they're not telling us that these are small attacks from other countries. The stock market abruptly crashed. Homie, they're not telling us that these are wars and attacks that's happening to us.
Did you hear about every U.S. citizen's social security number being hacked and they have all of our information?
Yeah. Well, these are attacks that's happening that they're not telling us. They're making it seem like it's computer glitches. What 3 weeks ago, all airplanes was shut down. They couldn't fly nowhere. They're not telling us Russia and China been tapping into Iran, North Korea, homie, they've been tapping into, and these people are already here. These sales are already here. China flew a whole balloon, homie, over America, 2-3 years ago. And every house that thing flew over, it tapped into the doorbell cameras, the security cameras. So, homie, they ain't telling us this.
You think Earth's coming to an end?
That is a certainty. Just a question of when. If nothing else happens, the sun will expand and boil the oceans and kill all life on Earth.
Wait, because the sun's expanding? Like it's growing?
Yeah, it's expanding. Things could get a bit dicey in 500 million years. Well, it's not going to be in our lifetimes or anything close to it, but I'm just saying that if you think very long term, then the extinction of Earth is a certainty. If nothing else happens to destroy all life on Earth, that will definitely happen. In the fossil record, there are arguably 5 great extinction events. A great extinction event would be like, I don't know, 70, 80% of all species on Earth are destroyed. And there was one particular extinction, the Permian extinction. It's like maybe 90, 95% of all species were destroyed, which frankly doesn't tell the whole story, because most of what remained were like fungus and fungi and things like, not, you know, unless you're a mushroom or a cockroach or whatever, you know, no large life was survived, or almost no large life. So Permian extinction took out almost everything.
Okay, we've got some huge breaking news because we have just witnessed history. For the first time ever, a private spacewalk has successfully taken place just moments ago.
Isaacman now emerging
Copy
from...
with you, test matrix 1, watching from the nose cone.
With views like that, not ideal for flat earthers. So before this, only government-funded astronauts have ever done spacewalks before. And not only that, but this SpaceX mission is now the furthest distance humans have traveled in over 50 years.
Now, look at the way he's moving. That's not natural. It looks like a mannequin. Look at it. Look at the way it's moving. It's like a mannequin. Arms, fingers ain't moving, right? No twitch in the arms, nothing.
Freaking NASA's Apollo program. That's massive. And now this Dragon capsule is more than 3 times further away from Earth than the International Space Station. 3 times. And even better news, we have officially broken the billionaire curse. Jared Isaacman, who's worth over $2 billion and is the commander of this mission, safely did an almost 15-minute spacewalk. That's the kind of news we need right now. And the second astronaut, Sarah Gillis, also did a 15-minute spacewalk as well. So, all around, good news for you to kick your day off. Woo!
Looks like the ocean, right? I mean, if I was up there, I'm getting a selfie stick, I'm going 360 around, right? I mean, you got an HD camera facing only one direction. I'd have cameras everywhere just to see, right? That's fake, y'all. I know if it was me, I'm having cameras all around me, GoPro on, everything. Hell out of here.
Check this video out, y'all.
We're on top of Dracuni Peak, and pretty sure there's just Sasquatch down there.
Something's
Can't really see
walking.
it very well. There's this little black dot walking in the middle of the snow, in the middle of nowhere. Oh, I wish you could see it better than this thing. That is pretty big. I can't zoom in anymore.
There's something out there.
To give you an idea where we are right now. Middle nowhere. Why would he walk up that way?
And in those how creepy would that be though? You're in the middle of nowhere, haven't seen nobody all day. You're sitting at the top of a mountain and you see something walking. You got to go look at the footprints, right? You have to.
Conditions, it is really hard to passively detect another submarine. So they felt pretty secure. They weren't going to be detected by a Russian sub, and they probably weren't going to hear one either. And so he's on the watch, and all of a sudden they get a passive hit, a contact that's moving off the starboard at some range. I don't know the range, but then it paused and then started closing on them rapidly. And they call that constant bearing decreasing range. And you don't want that when you're a ship driver or a sub driver. I drove ships, aircraft carriers. I was a deck watch officer. That's going to be a collision. And they had, that was every feature that a Russian torpedo would have in terms of the constant bearing decreasing range at a very rapid rate. And they were so convinced, he called the captain of the bridge, they set general quarters and they dived. And it kept on coming and it kept on coming. And they were hoping to get below some acoustic lens or whatever that wouldn't be able to find them and lose track. And it just kept coming. And so they went as deep as crush depth, just above it. Crush depth is that depth that a submarine will implode. And that's a dangerous place to be on an older sub like this. But they were convinced this was a Russian sub coming at them. And then at some range close, I don't know what, it paused and then slowly took station on their stern behind them and trailed them for a while. So they're getting this passive acoustic hit of something doing this. And then after minutes, maybe, it just rapidly departed the scene. And they couldn't, there was no explanation. The Russians didn't have technology like that. We didn't have technology like that. And again, to this day, he doesn't know.
Can we be honest for a second? When is too many coincidences labeled too many coincidences? Like, what is a coincidence? And why is there so many when it comes to Hollywood? There is sure a lot of celebrity lookalikes. Do you guys know the percentage out there of being able to come across someone that looks exactly like you in life? And for some weird reason, Hollywood has an enormous amount of lookalikes within one industry, which resorts back to that word coincidence. Is it, or is there something more to this mystery? I am a conspiracy theorist, and you know my take, which I can't say because the video would get down for integrity and misinformation. So therefore, I can't say the part which you guys know what I'm going to say. But these are just coincidences. In one industry that has a whole bunch of gatekeepers, we'll say that. Not just anyone can be famous. Not just anyone can make millions and millions and billions of dollars. You have to be chosen, or dare I say created. You have to be molded. You have to be chosen by the industry to be able to influence millions and billions of people in our world. So yes, I'm going to say this is all coincidence. A highly percentile coincidence. But in the comments section, I want y'all to say the shit that I can't say. Please. Do you know the C word? Didn't Disney come out and say that they've openly done this and created stars? Created stars. You know, you guys take that so figuratively and not literally. You only know what you think you know. And again, you will rationalize what you see with your own eyes. A lot of people come up with excuses. A lot of people come up with dogma, may I even say, to make sure their reality shall not crumble. But I'm here to tell you, you guys are the worst types of people. You guys are the ones who continue this illusion of reality. You guys are the reason why our destruction is so goddamn imminent. And I'm the one fighting for you. My constituents are the ones fighting for you. You know, there's some beautiful people out there. And you can say the odds of working with other beautiful people in the industry, there's going to be some lookalikes. But not everyone's beautiful. And I'm sorry to say Steve Buscemi is part of this list. And when you got Steve Buscemi having a lookalike, there is room for argument that something's going on. But hey, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Peace to God.
All right, family, there you have today's reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Little new breaking news happening, right? Me and my lady decided to put in for another house. They accepted our offer yesterday, so we will be moving maybe the end of this month, but for sure we're supposed to close October 17th, but it may happen earlier. Moving closer to a mountain. Anybody that's been following me for a while, I'm a trail runner, right? I need my mountain. It's my therapy. It's my medicine. So I'm so happy. I haven't ran a mountain in like a year, so I can't wait to get out there closer to the mountain. Same city we're living in, but a little closer to her family. And you know, bigger, upgrading bigger for our baby that's on the way. And I'll be buying mountains, so I'll be out there mountain biking, I'll be out there trail running. May have to get a little GoPro, take you guys with me, throw a little video on the second channel of me mountain biking. I've never mountain biked before, so but I want to mountain bike. It's a big mountain biking community out here, so I want to get into that. Who knows, maybe make some friends in the mountain bike game and start riding with them on Mondays or something. That'd be pretty dope. But anyways, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. When it is moving time, but I will let you guys know, I will be doing daily uploads still, but they will be a lot shorter, probably 20-25 minute clips, bang them out real quick and then get to moving, because anybody that's moved knows it's a process, it's stressful, but I want to make sure I get out here and you know, give the Cave fam what y'all like to see and put together some videos for you guys. But anyways, y'all, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, and make sure you guys subscribe. Giveaway at 10,000 subscribers. We're getting there. Big giveaway at 10,000, y'all. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Later.